Now, if you're anything like me when it came to looking at my charts for the first time as a fresh, brand new trader, I was so overwhelmed and confused with the amount of things to look at and consider when just simply looking at my charts. One big point of confusion for me was trading indicators, and today we're going to break down exactly what they are and how you can use them most effectively in your trading. Let's go! Traders, welcome back to our Trading Fundamentals series. My name is Christian, representing Blue Effects, and today's video is something very, very close to my heart, something that I love and something that I wouldn't trade without. That is trading indicators. Now, nowadays, currently, trading with indicators is a massive part of my system, and I wouldn't trade without them. But when I started trading, let me tell you, that definitely wasn't the case at all. They were a big source of confusion for me, knowing there were so many different types, so many different options, and not knowing how I could best use them and effectively use them in my trading. Well, today we're going to give you an answer to all of those questions. We're going to break down exactly what they are, how they work, and how you can use them most effectively within your trading. I've got a short presentation and we're going to jump on the charts later on to have a little look, but without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, welcome to the presentation. We're going to answer a couple of questions for you today on trading indicators. First off, what are indicators? That's obviously a very important one. How do I apply them to my chart? And also very important, how can I use them most effectively in my trading? It's all very well to learn about them, it's all very well to understand them, but how can they be a benefit to your trading and anyone's trading who uses indicators? Well, that's all going to be revealed. Let's go to the next slide. Trading indicators, what are they? Indicators are mathematical based technical analysis tools that traders can use to analyze and anticipate future price movement and trends. So that's a little bit of a mouthful, a little bit wordy, but I'm going to break this down for you. So indicators, they take chart data, whether that is the open of the past candle, the close of the past candle, the range of the past candle. So in that case, it would be the from top to bottom, where it opened, where it closed, the difference, that is the range. Different chart information. They display it in some way. That might be below the chart, it might be on the chart. There's many different formats, but they're used by traders to anticipate and predict future price movement and trends. Indicators come in many different formats and interpret chart data in many different ways. We've already just covered that. They all have different formulas behind them. They all take different bits of data from the chart and they display in different ways, but they all come under the same umbrella term of indicators. Some examples of indicators. You might have heard of the Relative Strength Index, the RSI, stochastics, moving averages, and the ATR. Now, these are just some examples of what indicators are. You might have heard of a few, you might know a few names in the back of your mind. Moving averages is a very, very popular one. You see that all the time on the charts, and this will all make a lot more sense later on when we jump over to the charts. But there's a short video here, and it's going to show you relative to price what an indicator might look like. So the top in the blue line, you've got a line graph representing price action, and the bottom you've got the indicator in this case. Now this is just an indicator I've made up. It doesn't exist, it's just an animation I put together. But you can imagine this green and red line, there's some sort of calculation going on in the background by the indicator itself, and it's giving you an impression of what is happening with price. So you would read the data, you would look at these lines from the indicator. Perhaps if the red line was to cross below the green, you would consider a short position. You would sell that market. And on the flip side, if the green crosses above the red, then you might go long. That's just one example of indicators. But what I'm going to do right now, we're going to jump straight over to my MT4, my MetaTrader, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can add an indicator to the chart and how they work in real time. So let's take a look at that. Okay, welcome to the charts. Let's break this down nice and simply for you. First thing to do is to explain exactly how to add an indicator to your chart. Now, when you look at your platform for the first time, this is MetaTrader 4, there's a lot of things to look at, but I've simplified it as best as I can. I'm trying to put myself in the frame of mind as a new and fresh trader. And in front of us right now, we've got a completely naked, bare charts. There's no indicators to be seen here. All we have are the candlesticks themselves. Okay, so we're on the daily time frame. You can see up here we selected the daily time frame. That means one candle is 1 day's worth of price action. So this was a 24-hour period here that's closed. For example, that's 1 day. And we're looking at the pound dollar, the cable, otherwise known as. And if you want to add an indicator, we go up to View on the top hand corner, View, Navigator. On the left hand side, you're going to see a list of all of these indicators that you can add to your chart. Most will come default with the platform, but otherwise you can install custom ones, which perhaps you can go away and have a look at when you get a bit more accustomed to it. So let's pick a nice and simple one to start with. Moving average, we just mentioned that in the presentation, but I'm going to show you how to add it. It's very, very simple. You click on it and you bring it over to your chart like so. Now, you've got this pop-up that comes up. Don't be confused. Let's leave it on its default settings for today. We're going to keep it nice and simple. There's a couple of different types of moving averages. We're going to use the exponential, it's the default setting, and a period of 10. The period is the amount of candles it takes into account for its calculation. So in this case, it's going to take the data from the past 10 candles to form its calculation and give the insight to the trader. And it's going to paint in a lovely, lovely pink magenta color. Let's press OK and get that on the chart. And there you have it. So that is what a moving average looks like, and that's how to add it to the chart. This is just one example of one indicator. Now this is an indicator that sits on top of the chart, where there are different types that go in different places. Like as part of the presentation, I showed you something called an oscillator, and it sits below the chart. Let's see if I can find one on the fly. MACD, that will do quite nicely. So MACD, let's click on it. We'll drag it across. We'll keep it on the default settings. And there you go. This is a different style of indicator, but rest assured, they are both still types of indicators. So that is how you add your indicators to your chart. It's up to you to go away and play with them and test them and see what's going to work the best for your trading system. But fundamentally, indicators are there to help you make trading decisions, and they're always based on some sort of mathematical decision and mathematical equation that is going on in the background. They're trying to interpret data that you cannot see straight away by just looking at the charts. And this is all different metrics and formats. It might be closes, ranges, lots of different things to measure when it comes to price action of the financial markets. But that is what an indicator tries to do. It tries to give you some sort of graph or something to look at, some sort of physical thing to go on the chart to relay information to the trader to help you make better and more informed trading decisions. Now, as for the most effective way to use them are in tandem with each other. You've got indicators that do different things. Some measure the volume of the market, the volatility, and how quick things are moving. Some are going to try and tell you when price is trending, or it's going to try and tell you when to get in a trade or get out of a trade. Lots of different indicators do lots of different things. So the best way to use them is kind of a trick answer. Is to use lots of them and to use them for different things and find a system that works for you. But that's the most important thing, to go out and find a system. So next time you look at a chart, it doesn't have to be so daunting, it doesn't have to be so confusing. Lots of things on the charts to be confused about when it comes to just trying to digest exactly what you're looking at. But fundamentally, indicators are there to help you, and you've seen how to add them onto your chart. So hopefully on the other side of that video, you are much more comfortable with using indicators. You know how to use them, you know what they are, and you know how best to use them most effectively in your trading. Now, if you've got any further questions about indicators or any other trading related questions, please drop them down below in the comments. I do read all of your comments, and I love to hear your feedback on the videos and any further video suggestions you may have. If you're struggling with something in your trading, if you're trying to get to grips with a new concept, whether that's chart work like we've done today or other trading concepts, please drop them in the comments down below and I'll be happy to help you, and you might even get a video of your very own. Of course, like, show some love, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.